What's up, RAI Adventures? If you're new around here, I'm Ryan, and in today's video, I'm going to be taking this plastic jack-o'-lantern and turning it into a little spider pumpkin. I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to achieve my vision, so be sure to enjoy the ride and the struggle bus as I try to make this thing a spider. Alright, so as I was saying in the intro, I have a vision of what I want this pumpkin spider to look like, but I have no clue on how I'm going to achieve that. So I'm just going to start by marking the holes that I'm going to be cutting out. Then I'm going to cut out the circle where the light used to go. After I'm done with that, now I'm going to take a soldering tool and melt these 4 holes out on the bottom. So now I'm just twisting 2 wires together to make my inner legs. I'm going to take these 4 inner legs and stick them through these holes I melted a little bit ago. Now this part was a little hard to see on camera, but I'm taking the wires and feeding them back through the little hole in the middle, and then I'm twisting them up with their corresponding leg. Here I'm folding the legs back over and twisting them up with some pliers. I throw a couple zip ties on there just to pull the wires closer together. And then there's a lot of hammering. After all that hammering, I'm going to bend the legs out and down and try to get my pumpkin to stand up. Then more marking holes, more melting holes, and more and more and more metal clothes hangers. And after painstakingly straightening all them out, we're going to feed them through the pumpkin and back out and realize this is going to take a bit, so I'm moving your back. So yeah, we spend way too long feeding all these metal wires in and out of this pumpkin. And once again, I'm twisting these wires up, but this time I'm wrapping around another clothes hanger to give the wires more thickness. And so after all that, this is what we got. But wait, we're not done yet. We still gotta bend this and melt that, and then feed this wire through here and twist it together. We are just going to repeat this on the other side. Feed the wire through, pull it through the top hole, and twist it all up to make our left arm. This right here is my least favorite part about making pumpkins. I'm about to spend the next week of my life doing paper mache, and I know this is gonna suck so bad. So in these next couple time lapses, I'm gonna be covering the pumpkin in 5 different layers of paper mache. I'm covering the pumpkin in paper mache because I want to add thick vines kind of suffocating the pumpkin, and I don't think the paper clay I'm going to use will stick to the plastic surface of the pumpkin. So this is going to give us kind of a clean slate to start over. Now the only thing I'm doing different for layer 2 of the paper mache is I'm just laying it horizontal instead of vertical, so I know what I covered on the pumpkin. On day 3, I'm back to vertical stripes. On day 4, I ran out of glue water mix, so I had to make more, and I'm back to horizontal. And for my final layer on day 5, I'm back to doing vertical. And let me tell you, I cannot be any more excited that the paper mache is finally done. It's finished, the worst part. I'm moving on as fast as I can and never looking back because I hate paper mache. So now I'm taking a page from clay sculptor's books and I'm adding tinfoil to the legs and arms to give them some more girth. And just like that, our plastic pumpkin is now ready to go to space. Off camera, I told Dad what kind of face I wanted, so he drew it on, and I handed him the Dremel, and here he is cutting it out. Just like that, our pumpkin has a face again. Here I am making our paper clay. It's just blended up paper fibers, joint compound, and some wood glue. I think the blender is done. Always kill the blender. You always gotta kill the blender when you're making Halloween stuff. So here I am adding the wood glue and the joint compound to the paper fibers that I just blended up. Then you mix it all up until all the materials mix together and it's more of a clay texture. Now I'm going to use the paper clay to give the face more structure and also sculpt out the vines. Here you can see how I'm just clumping the paper clay together to create vines running down the body of the pumpkin. Now we are adding cotton strands dipped in the same wood glue water mix we paper mached with, and we're wrapping it around the tin foil. This was my dad's idea to wrap the legs in cotton. I was fairly impressed with how that turned out. It is literally hard as a rock now that it's dried. So from this point on in the pumpkin spider project is when you'll really see the most drastic changes. Here I am adding the skin layer to the pumpkin. This layer more to me is the, oh my god, the paper clay isn't gonna fall off and I don't have to worry about it falling apart every single night. I don't know guys, what do you think? I think Mr. Peanut the Spider Pumpkin here is starting to come along pretty well. Now we're gonna spray them all up with Flex Seal and turn them into Venom. Now that the Flex Seal's dry, we're gonna drill and give them some big spiky teeth. Now the teeth are coming out one by one and getting hot glued back in place. Finally, the teeth are getting Flex Sealed over. Now all that's left is to paint this thing. So I'm going to start off painting by pouring this yellow paint inside the pumpkin. Then I have to slosh the pumpkin all around until the whole inside is coated with the yellow paint. Using all this overspill, I'm just going to dry brush it around. And immediately, because I have no patience, I start dry brushing my darkest orange onto the pumpkin. Now that that orange is dry, I'm dry brushing my medium orange over the dark orange. Now I'm going to take my lightest orange and dry brush that on the pumpkin. Looking pretty good, but now it's time for the green. So starting with my dark green, I'm going to go over all the vines. Now I'm just going over all the vines real quickly with the lighter green. And as we're almost done painting, I'm just going to dry brush on real lightly the yellow from the inside to make our pumpkin not so vibrant. And finally, I'm just coating the whole outside of the pumpkin in some clear spar varnish. And just like that, turned this simple plastic pumpkin into this crazy creepy spider pumpkin. So if you liked what you saw, make sure you follow, because we got some way more crazy Halloween projects coming up in the next couple months. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'll see ya.